Yeah, so farming here is it's a gerund, it's a noun for the entire process of creating um primary production on farms. Farming is devastating the planet. It
Taking
means
the
that
planet.
it's destroying it or damaging it in an extreme way. Um, but the implication here is it's not farming as such, it's the way that we farm in contemporary society. So it's like a resource intensive, um, chemical intensive form of farming. And it's also usually a monoculture. So I think that's what's in the background here. When they say farming is devastating the planet, they're not saying that all kinds of farming have to devastate the planet. They then go on to say there could be a much more environmentally friendly way to do this. So um yeah, so with the verb turn, to turn, the key here is to turn into. So to turn
Oh,
something into something else. And you can use that in lots of different situations. So you could say, I'm going to turn my second bedroom into an office. I'm going to turn this small investment into a large lump sum through prudent decisions. I'm going to turn um, turn this piece of wood into a sculpture. It just means to transform one thing into another in some way. Yeah. You could also say I'm going to turn myself into something, but it kind of implies that you're doing magic. Um, unless you were a bit more specific. So if I said I'm going to turn you into a rabbit, or I'm going to turn myself into a vampire bat, it implies a supernatural process. But if you were to say through by going to the gym every day, I'm going to turn myself
to a monster.
into a muscle-bound monster. Then it would be less magical and more about the process. Yeah. Um, yeah, is that um it feels like a very journalistic phrase
This is becoming a reality.
to say that something, anything is becoming a reality, that is, it's gradually being made real.
Mm.
It's a very it's not a passive voice construction, but it's a passive phrase. You say you're kind of saying that it's taking on existence to become, this is becoming a reality, but you're not saying how. It's another way of saying, this, that something is gradually becoming real. Um, you're not saying enough about it. It's kind of setting up the reader. They need to know more for it to make any sense, exactly what you're referring to.
Okay, great.